Hey everyone, it's Adam.
I'm Gary with Brightengale.
And today we're talking about Logitech P5 and the Brio 500. All right, well, the P5 and the Brio 500 are similar and different. They're both webcams. They both have EPTZ function, right? And so what that is electronic pan tilt zoom, so you can kind of zoom in, steer them around. They both have shutters. They both have companion apps. They both have 1080p sensors. As of March 23, the P5 by Poly is coming in around $80. The Brio 500 by Logitech is coming in at around $130. So physically, I prefer the P5 form factor. It's much smaller. I like the way the little shutter works. I like that it closes and you see the little red. I also like that the light turns off, so when it's powered, it's white. And then if you activate the camera, it goes green. Oh. So when it's green, it means that you are on video and other people can see you.
Yeah, green means go.
Exactly. And then if you shut the shutter, we just twist it, the light shuts off. So pretty convenient. The Poly also has a pretty good little monitor stand. It's kind of like a silicone rubber here and here and here. It's relatively easy to place. You get horizontal movement here, and then you use the stand to get your vertical. The Poly has a very unique feature. If you open up the back, there's actually another USB port back there. Oh. That's designed for a Polycom headset. So if you have a Polycom headset, you can actually plug the wireless receiver into that port and save a USB port on your computer. I did try to use that with an audio interface that was bus powered. Didn't work, won't use it. I did plug in just a USB keyboard and it does. So my guess is, might be a USB 1 port. At least it didn't have enough power to power my USB powered audio interface.
Yeah, I've noticed a few differences between the two just back here physically.
All right.
This one is a much lighter gray than that one. This one is longer this way, and this one is longer this way. And this one doesn't have a light.
It does have a light, Gary.
It's got a light? I can't, well,
it's just not on top.
Oh, there we know. There we go.
The build quality is pretty comparable on both. Once again, same stand, similar stand, horizontal movement here, and then you use a little stand. Also, the Logitech one comes with an adhesive strip. And the reason for that adhesive strip is because the Logitech camera has a function where you can tilt the camera down and share your workspace. And whatever's on your table can be displayed in the meeting, and it will flip the image and correct the image so you can see that, which is a really, really cool feature. The Logitech, to shut the lens, you just turn this little shutter. You can see it goes gray, open, closed. It does have an indicator light for when it is active. So that should bring on the indicator light because that camera is active. So separately, they both, like I said, have companion apps. The companion app of the Logitech one, as far as I can tell, is required. The Poly will work out of the box, but the picture quality is really bad. So you really need the companion app for the Poly P5 to work. I don't think that the Brio will function without the app. So yeah, so that's like the hardware of these cameras. Let's go ahead and take a look at what these cameras look like. And this is actually just gonna be me sitting at my desk that I work at here. It's pretty bland, just a white background. I've got fluorescent lights overhead and a window. So really like not a great situation for a camera, but let's be honest, that's kind of the sort of space that a lot of people might be working in. So let's see how they perform. So this is the Poly P5. I think the microphones on this are really bad. I would use something else, almost anything else I would use. That being said, I think the picture quality is good. I did have to go into the companion app and turn off auto exposure and kind of tweak it manually a little bit more than I would have liked. But if you're willing to do that, I mean, there's savings over the Logitech Brio. So if you're happy tweaking your settings manually to get it how you like it, I think this is a really good camera for a really good price. I also noticed that there's some issues with the autofocus, and especially if I go out of frame and then come back in frame. Let's see if we can make it happen. Nah, I'm still in focus this time. But the only way I've been able to solve it is either by going in the companion app and then dialing in a manual focus, but like, who's going to do that during a meeting? And so the thing I've ended up doing is just putting my hand over the camera and then having it try to focus again, and now I'm out of focus, and the autofocus isn't kicking in very quickly. But maybe if I do it again, there you go, now I'm in focus again. So a couple little downsides to this camera, but all in all, I think it's a really good picture quality. It has some nice like little bonus features. I like the indicator light on it. I like the way the shutter works. But yeah, I think it's a good camera. I would just swap out the microphone for something else. So this is the Logitech Brio 500. I think out of the gate, the microphones are much better than the Poly P5. They're totally usable, and I would use them in a meeting, and I think it sounds good. I think the picture quality is really good. I think it's nice and sharp. I don't like the color quite as much as the P5, but once again, you probably could go in, I could go in and tweak this in the companion app and probably get something a little closer to what I like. It's a little bit kind of warm. For my preference. That being said, this is a challenging lighting environment. I've got fluorescent lights overhead. I've got a window with some tint on it over here, so not a easy lighting environment, especially for a camera that's in complete automatic mode. One of the features about this camera is that it will auto frame you. So if I move over a little bit, I do have the auto framing enabled, so it will reframe me, which makes things a lot easier. You know, you just sit the camera up and you get framed, and it works well, even if you move around at your desk a little bit. So I think this is a really good camera, and I would definitely recommend it. The only issue that I see is it looks like you have to have the companion app installed called Tune to get the camera to work at all. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it seems that was my experience taking the camera out of the box and getting it started. Not a deal breaker. Most webcams have a companion app at this point, and so you know it's a common thing at this point in time. Anyway, that's the Brio 500. All right, so this is the PolyLens app, and you can see I've got my Studio P5 connected over here. You have a general overview. It's got the software version that's running on the camera, whether or not it's connected, and then you've got the controls pane. One thing I like about this is you can actually create your own presets. So if you maybe move your camera around or different times of day, you can actually have different presets to do that. Also, you know, all of your controls that you want, your color temperature are all right here. This does have the ability to manually zoom, so you know you can tighten up, but it's different. It's not continuous. It's definitely stepped. Still a very handy feature. You could take a screenshot here if you want to for some reason. I don't know why you'd be doing that, but there's that. To connect multiple devices, you can see my master mouse here that I'm using right now, but here's the Brio 500, and here you get a nice little preview. You can also control how that preview is working, whether you want full HD or 720, or you can disable it. You can add some framing grids. Right sight, that is their auto framing function. You can try and choose if you want that to be further, closer, you know, and it will change how tight of the frame, of how tight the framing will be. Also in this, you can see image adjustments. You can do all the standard things you would think here, and then you can do filters. If you like filters, you could do filters if that's something that you like. I don't. I just leave it. I use these cameras for conferences, and I don't need a filter. And that is a straightforward app, and yeah, it lives in your toolbar, and you can just summon it whenever you need it and do what you need to do. So anyway, if you think one of these cameras might be right for you, or you need help deciding which one is, go ahead and leave a comment below, or feel free to send us an email or give us a call, and we'd be happy to help. Thanks so much.